efficiency in maintaining or managing our inventory, receivable, and payable. You look at the formula. If it's inventory, we start with average inventory, right? Average inventory. If it's receivable, we start with average receivable. And if it's payment, we start with average payment, trade payable. Then what do we divide with? We divide by cost of sales for inventory. So the top part, no issue. You just follow the name only. Inventory, average inventory, divided by cost of sales. What about payable? Credit sales. Okay. Yeah, trade receivables divided by credit sales times 365. If you want it month, you times 12 only. Okay. If they give you total sales, got cash sales, make sure you take out the cash sales. We divide only by credit sales. And for payable, same thing, because credit payable, a credit purchase give rise to trade payable. Cash purchase do not give rise to payable. How to get average? Because the 1, 2, and number 3 inventory, receivables, payable, they say average receivable, average payable. So to get average is opening plus closing inventory divided by 2. Opening receivable, closing receivable, you plus divided by 2. That's how we get the average. Okay, opening plus closing divide 2. If your wallet at the beginning of the month got 500, at the end of the month, week at the beginning of the week 5, at the end of the week you left with 3. So what's your average? 400 because opening plus closing divided by 2 is the average. Then you look at inventory. You notice there are another formula here, or. Okay, so we focus on the inventory, the original one first, not original, this first one first. Average is opening plus closing divided by 2. So opening plus closing divided by 2. Do we have? Yes. Opening 48, closing 42. 48 plus 42 divided by 2. 4,005. Average inventory. Divided by cost of sales. 40,600. Okay, times 365. How many days? Yeah, 40 days. A is 40 days. B is it warm? If you want, I get from the what? Calculate remote. Is it warm? Yes, no. No, no warm. Okay. Huh? Oh, a bit lah. But I'm okay lah. I scared because warm then you fall asleep. Because I'm falling asleep. Never mind, never mind. You make sure you're okay. 40 days and B. $3,006 plus 250. 3,002 divided by 88 by 365. 62 days. Yeah. receivable. Do we have opening, closing? If questions do not have opening or closing, do not have opening especially, then we can use closing receivable, not average. Okay? Closing. Just receivable, then we just take 9. No, if you divide by 2, then half already. You divide by 2 is when you have opening plus closing divide 2, but we don't have opening. So take 2. Yeah. Note 1 there, right? Okay, you notice note 2? Yes. Meaning? The closing is given 9,000, and they say it's constant means throughout the constant is 9. So it's opening 9, closing 9. Constant like that, constant. So opening 9, closing 9, so you plus and divide to 9. Divide by credit sales. And they say all sales are on credit, so the whole thing. Payable. Payable means average payable. Purchase. Okay. Interpret. What does this mean? 4062. So basically, I explain first. 4062. We buy the inventory, and on average, of course, you're going to buy a lot, right? So on average, the inventory will take how long to turn over, means to sell? About 40 days to hold. Cannot, we hold about 40 days, whereas company B about 62 days. Okay? So hold longer than company A. Now, in terms of inventory, if they sell similar product, same target market, Who hold more inventory? B, because they take longer to sell, right? Turnover. So B take longer if they sell similar product, same target market. But what happens if they are slightly different product, still furniture, but in terms of market is different. So which one actually sell to a higher end market? This one, which one is actually targeting the higher end user? B, correct? Because when normally we are talking about, let's say, a Proton, okay, turnover, how long they keep compared to Ferrari. So do you think Ferrari will take longer to turn over? Yeah. So that's why we're talking about the product that they sell. So if you are branded stuff, normally it will be longer. Okay. And then we always try to link this ratio to others. Okay. So it's 62 days. So if we can link, as in this case, if they sell higher end product, and we know higher end product, do they generate higher margin? Yeah, higher selling price, correct. So when we look at the margin is higher as for B. Okay, not higher margin is higher margin. B has got higher margin. Yeah, so we can put that. Therefore, we can actually assume that they are in the luxury market. Cannot take longer and margin is higher. Okay, 40 and 62. One more thing here. When you are taking longer to actually turn over for the inventory, or you keep longer. So is this going to affect your cash flow? Yeah, because your most of the money are kept in the I mean, when you buy inventory, so if you do not sell, so you have no cash inflow. So your money will be stuck in the inventory. So means you have your money will be stuck in the inventory. So we look at the liquidity. And earlier when we calculate the liquidity for company B 1.6, then the quick asset ratio is 1.25. We conclude that they do not have liquidity problems. Correct? 1 to 1, and they have more than 1. It's 1.25. So having more inventory in that case does not actually affect their liquidity. Okay. Then the next ratio here. You notice average divided by cost, and here is cost divided by average is just the opposite. So I give you the next example. What's the difference between these two formulas? Actually, it's almost the same. They are linked. Yeah. First example is your average inventory divided by cost of sales. If my average inventory is 100, opening plus closing divided by 2, and my cost of sales is 200 times 365. So it's half, 182.5 days. What does this mean? I buy, and then I hold it for about half a year, I sell, one turnover. So I sell luxury item. Buy, I hold, I sell in 1 year because we times with 365. 182.5 days. If we use the other formula, which is in times, we switch it from cost divided by average. No need to times anything. My cost is 200. My average inventory opening plus closing divided by 2 is 100. So you divide, you have 2 times. Can you link these two? 182 days, 182.5 days, one turnover. Then I buy and I hold it for another 182.5 days, another turnover. So 1 year got 2 turnover. Okay, 1 year has got 2 turnover. How long is it? 182.5. 10. So if I ask you, just now it's 182.5. What if my turnover is 30 days, 90 days? How many times turnover? Yes. Buy, hold 90 days, sell. Buy 90 days, sell. 1 year, how many times? 4 times. Okay, now, if 6 times will be how many days? Yeah, 61 days. So you see, from 90 days I can convert into times. From 6 times I can convert into 61 days. How do you convert? From 90 days to convert into times, you take 365 divide by the amount here 90. 365 and divide. How to get from 6 times convert to days? Same thing, 365 you divide by the 6. It's always 365 and divide with the info provided. You have 61 days. Okay? So exam answer, they will give you in times, give you in days. So here is 4 times, here is 6 times. Which one take longer? If I do not give you the number of days, I don't give you the number of days. 4 times in a year, 6 times in a year. So which one, this one will take longer? 4, because buy, sell. So take longer. Okay? So if you look at here, 40 days and 60 days, we probably sell furniture. Example, correct? We sell furniture, we buy, and then we sell around 40 to 60 days around here. If my company, I'm a retail shop, I sell bread. How long do you think is my turnover in terms of days? Bread. Can I hold and keep it for 40 days, then sell on average? Cannot. Bread have to be cepat rosak, yes. So that's why the turnover for bread will be lesser. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, around there. Cannot be 40 or 60 days. So it depends on the product. Right, so that is for inventory. Receivable is how long to collect the correct 41 days and 46 days. Actually, there's not much difference, but we actually have to compare to our credit term. 30 days credit term means we give our customer 30 days to pay, and this one 41 and 46 means they're taking longer to pay. But what happens if we give 60 days? Then 41 days, 46 days will be within the 60 days term given. The faster they pay, the better is our cash inflow, and bad debt will be lesser the risk. Okay, what happens if it's company A is 41 and then this is company B, only 10 days rather than 46, 41 and 10 means B take a lot more faster to collect, correct? 10 days to collect. So it could be an indication that when they sell to their customer and they actually encourage them to pay early, give discount. Okay, they give discount, that's why they encourage to pay early. Payable 75 and 165, 162, 75 is about 2.5 months. 2.5 months. We buy, we will hold and keep it for 2.5 months. 162 is about 5 months plus. 162 is about 5 months plus. So we are taking longer to pay. I mean, company B is take much more longer to pay compared to A. When you see this, indication is, especially for part B, company B, take much longer to pay. They may have liquidity problem. However, we have already checked no liquidity problem. So why are they taking so long to pay? Maybe customer or supplier give us a very long credit terms. Okay, could be 90 days, could be 120 days. Or we actually purposely delay payment. Hold off our payment. Okay. But is it good or not? If we keep on holding the money payment, supplier won't be happy, right? So they may ask us to pay cash in the future. They may actually raise the price. When they sell to us, they will purposely raise higher. they may not send the goods anymore because you keep on delaying, and they will withhold the goods. So many reasons that will happen if we continue to pay late. Alright. So we have to, this example here is to explain to you what do we look for when it comes to explanation. And our exam question normally you'll be given a scenario. You try to link to the scenario. Okay, here is just generally, no scenario, just figure. Okay. And when you explain, you try to link it to the scenario, and we try to link it with different ratios. Yeah, let's say you go to the doctor. You tell me you got headache. I can't conclude what kind of illness you have, correct? So if you tell me your cash flow is this much, or your ratio is or your gearing ratio is 29, I can't tell much. But you tell me you have this person got headache, they vomit, stomachache, dizzy. Okay, so with all these symptoms, more or less I can conclude, yeah, you got food poisoning. Example. Same thing here. When it's 29%, and then the cash flow got no problems, they generate actually quite a high margin. So with all this ratio, we can actually conclude this company B is very, very healthy. Same thing for company A. They have low gearing ratio. They have no problem paying off their liability or interest. In terms of efficiency, receivable, inventory, almost similar. Though the trade payable is about 5 months plus. How many days? 162 days. So one thing is probably here, they are taking more than 5 months to pay their supplier. Supplier may not be happy, withhold the goods, increase the price, withdraw the status. Means they want us to pay cash. One reason why our cash flow is so healthy could be this reason as well. We hold off our payment, so it improves our own company's cash flow. But the moment when the supplier asks us to pay immediately, that's when we may face some liquidity problem. Okay, so we have to conclude also. Right? Earning per share we learned before in EPS IAS 33. Dividend cover, dividend yield. So dividend cover. This one is for investors ratio. As an investor, we look at all this ratio. Dividend cover is the dividend divided by profit divided by the dividend. Just now, how much is it? 15,005, right? Yeah. No, yeah, 50,000 profit after tax. I must pay off the dividend, which is 0. This is the balance for the shareholder. And how much dividend I declare? 5. $3.1 times. 7 times. I cannot tahan it. Probably. Resume. So dividend cover. I can tell you, but past year really hardly we touch on dividend cover, dividend yield. So this one we just quickly go through. Okay, so dividend cover more on F9, means your financial paper. So for investors' point of view, dividend is important. Okay, so we want to know the dividend cover as in here. Our profit made that belongs to the shareholder. Let's say we are the investor. We are the investor. 15.5 is the profit that belongs to us, and you declare only 5,000. So your profit is 3.1 times of the dividend, correct? And your profit is 1.5 times. In other words, in the future, if I'm the investor, which company has more ability to pay more dividend? A or B? A pay 3 times. I mean, A is 3.5 one time, B is 7 times their dividend. Profit is 10, dividend only 1.5. So profit is more than the dividend or the cover about 7 times. Meaning they have more to pay in the future. Correct? Whereas A 3 times. If they maintain 5, they can only pay 3 times. Here maintain they can pay for 7 times. So their ability to pay in the future will be higher for B. So as an investor, B will have more capability to pay. So that's why we may want to go for B. Okay, which is better for investors' point of view. Then we got dividend yield. Yeah, we're going to skip also. P/E ratio. Explained before during EPS, earning per share. P/E ratio. You want to repeat quick one? P/E ratio. Here, very important ratio for investor P/E ratio, especially EPS lah. That's why we got one standard on EPS, IAS 33. If the company make $100, 1,000 profit and 500 profit, this example given before, profit, which company is better? In terms of profit, A is better, as in they make more profit. If you are the investor, which company will you invest in? With the limited information, of course, go for A. But if I give you other information, it's number of shares. The company has got issued 1,000 number of shares, and this company here is 100 shares. If you own one share, $1, right, you make. If you own one share, you make $5. As an investor, of course, B will be happy. Okay, you look at the profit, A make more profit. As an investor, B will be happy. Okay, will be the happier one compared to A because they make 5. But what happens if you are not yet the investor? This is your earning per share. Earning per share. Your profit after tax minus your dividend. In terms of the price, if you are the investor and you haven't buy and you have to pay $6 for this. This one here, you have to pay $40 for the share. Cannot, so PE ratio, price divided by earning, price divided by earning, I pay 6 times. If I buy $40, I'm paying 8 times. Wow, this one expensive. Not because it's $40 or $6, but I'm paying extra. Okay, so I'm paying 8 times the earning. Here pay 6 times. Therefore, if I want to buy, I go for this one. Okay, what if it's a $5 here and the price is $20 compared to 6? You may thought $20 is expensive. One share $6, one share $20. Of course, in terms of value, $20 more expensive than 6. But in terms of valuation, 20 we only pay 4 times. Actually, this $20 is cheaper than the $6. Okay, so I would therefore invest in this $20. Okay, so in individual investors ratio, we look at whether to invest. We look at the earning per share, we look at the price, we look at the PE. So we have a standard on earning per share, this particular ratio. Right, you have to learn diluted earning per share as well. Earning per share, diluted earning per share. Done. So this one here is diploma level question. This one is diploma question. We are now at F level, is like almost advanced and degree level. So answer provided. This one go back a bit. Explanation is also very, very, very simplified. Later we look at the exam question. So exam question will be this one. Tell me which page, wait, 18. Page 18. Okay, this is December 2012. Again, this one is 2012, about 5-6 years ago. Our ratio question, now the focus area has changed. Meaning, they'll give you a company. We are likely to take over another business. This is my current ratio. No, nothing to do with this yet. The current one. This one is the old one. 2012 is about 5 years ago, 5-6 years. So latest one, the trend is something like this. This is a company, therefore ratio is given to you. They did not ask you to calculate because everybody should know how to calculate by then. So these are the ratio, and we are taking over this company. All right, and after we took over the business, we're going to take over their assets, their liability, and the profit will increase by this much, and that's all. And we're going to save some money from whatever. So all this is going to affect the asset and liability. So calculate a new set of ratio if the company were to take over. So you have to recalculate everything, and you compare and you comment. Or it could be dispose of a business, so our profit will be lower, our asset will be lower, recalculate. Okay, that is the current one. This one is the old one. Anyway, it can be used as part of practice. So quartile sales are required first. Prepare for quartile equivalent ratio that has been provided by the agency, equivalent ratio. Assess the financial and operating performance. Financial and operating means we look at the profitability ratio. Okay, we look at the profitability ratio. We look at the gearing ratio. Financial and operating performance in comparison to its sector average. Explain 4 limitations of usefulness of the above comparison. So 25 marks. Can you see ratio last time, one whole question, 25 marks. And I can tell you it's quite easy to score more than half. Okay, to pass is more than half lah. Half lah. So now no more. Now maybe I mean it can be a mixture lah. Okay, because 3 core area, console, single entity, ratio. So don't know which one to come up, and it can be combined ratio and cash flow. It can be console with ratio. Okay. So we look at a question. Quartile sell jewelries through store in the retail shopping center like Habib Jewel, Bokong. They sell jewelry through stores in the shopping mall throughout the country. And over the last 2 years, it has experienced declining profitability, drop in profit, and is wondering if this is related to the sector as a whole or not. The whole sector or just themselves only. And it has recently subscribed to an agency that produce average ratio across all the businesses, and below are the ratio provided by the agencies for Quartile's business. So this is the industry average. ROC Remember formula? No. PBIT, you see return on capital employed means divided by capital employed. The return is profit. Profit that we use is profit before interest and tax. PBIT. Net asset turnover is your total asset less current liability. You know what is total asset current liability? Yeah, capital employed. So it's sales divided by capital employed 1.4 times. GP margin, operating profit margin, current ratio, average inventory turnover, debt to equity. Can you see the gearing? Debt to equity means debt divided by equity. This one. They give us the formula because we know there are two. Sales, opening, production, or purchase, closing, yeah, all the way to profit before tax, tax, profit after tax. This is profit after tax, PAT, last one. How to get PBIT? Because our formula is to get PBIT. Sorry? Yeah. $4,002. Can I do this? You take profit before tax, you plus your interest. Yeah, because your this one is after you minus the interest. You add back interest is your PBIT. Let me go toilet. Yeah. Now I'll repeat. Okay. They asked to prepare equivalent ratio. This is from the average, from the sector average. You just put it at the side. Then normally you have to put in the formula. Here, this answer here do not have formula. Otherwise, it will be PBIT divided by capital employed, right? So 3, 4 is your profit after before tax. Just like I told you, we have to add interest to get PBIT. Divide by capital employed. Capital employed is equity plus debt. Equity, debt. So 12.1. Net asset turnover is your asset turnover, and it's sales divided by capital employed. There, up here. This is my capital employed. So 34.6. This is equity, this is debt. GP margin, operating margin, current ratio, average turnover, average inventory divided by cost of sales. Yeah. Debt to equity, no issue. Come, let's look at the ratio here. Before we look at the answer, how you want to answer this? They are in the jewelry, they sell jewelry in the shops, in retail, in the supermarket. And our company, return is 12, theirs is 16. Asset turnover, ours is higher. Margin is lower. Operating current ratio. So how you want to interpret? They ask for financial and operating performance. This one. After we have calculated, you see how many marks is given for part A? 9. Last time, O format, 9. Can we grab all 9? Possible, right? Okay, just put in formula, plug in the figure, 9 marks. That's why out of 25, to pass, last time, to pass, we must score at least 15. 25, half is a bit 12 and a half, but we try to aim at 15, 16. So to get the 15, we managed to grab all 9 already. We just need another 6. Okay? Then assess the financial, number one, and operating performance. Financial more on the gearing, operating more on the profitability in comparison to its sector average and all the asset turnover. So you can see the answer. They start with profitability, and after that, we try to dissect how to explain. Yeah, then after that will be the liquidity. Most of the mark will be from the profitability, definitely. And then we have a gearing, and do not forget, when we have comment and discuss, we must got conclusion. 1 mark. So conclusion, good or bad, you just conclude lah. Okay. So before we go through, this is based on how I'm going to explain. Of course, the answer may be different from mine. Do you agree? When we have 1,000 students, we may have 1,000 different interpretation, right? But of course, if it's acceptable or if it's consistent and reasonable, marks will be given. You see how I will explain. So in terms of profitability, ROCE, yeah, 12% overall, we have a lower in return. And you know, our examiner like to explain this point. Yeah. If the ratio is 20%, for 2017, 2018, it is 25%. No, let's put it as 28%. So is it increased by 8 percentage point? Yeah, increased by 8 percentage. This 8 percentage point is how many percent? Can I change this one? Easier, make it easier. 20 to 22 increased by 2. How many percent increase? From 20 to 22, is it increased by 10%? The point is 2 points. 22 minus 20 is 2 points. In percentage term is increased by 10%. So you can mention this. Past question examiner, they do mention this thing, so we can try to be similar to them. GP margin or ROC, whatever, over the year has increased by 2%, which is actually increased in 10%. 2% point increased by 10%. Then why? We have to interpret why. One of the reason is because here, our return here, is it lower profit compared to average? PBIT compared to capital employed. If my capital employed is high, what happened to my ratio? We know this is a formula, PBIT divided by capital employed. Capital employed is equity plus debt. If I borrow more money or I introduce more share or I introduce more capital into the business, my capital employed increase. What happened to my ratio? It will go down. Okay, so one of the reasons for this could be because I have higher capital employed. So we look at last year, we look at our financial position. It could be because of capital employed, which is this, and that here. Okay, during the year, I have a property revaluation. Can you see? Or not during the, I have a property valuation here. And I make how much profit? I make 2004. The 2004 could have been included in here. As a result, my equity is higher. So this one could be the reason why my ROCE dropped. Is it okay? So it is lower than our industry average, which is not good in this case. Asset turnover. However, even though our capital employed has increased, resulted in a lower ROCE, but our net asset from every dollar that we sell, for every capital employed that we have employed into the business, we actually generate higher sales. Okay, so remember we got 3 ratio: ROCE, net asset, and one more, Remember I told you the three ratio that the examiner always explain based on the ROC equal to what? ROC equal to this one. Page. Yeah, this one. ROC equals to net profit margin asset turnover. This one is ratios within a ratio. All these are three ratios. And the three ratios, when we put it together, is another ratio. Correct? So we have ROCE equals to net profit margin times with asset turnover. You use calculator and check. So 1.6 times 7.5, do you get 12.1? Yeah. So this three ratio must be mentioned in our interpretation. Okay. Now, you see the GP asset turnover now, the GP margin 35 compared to ours is 25. What could be the reason? Two possible reasons or a combination of the two reasons. One is selling price, one is the cost per unit, or it can be both. Are we selling lower price? Are we selling at the lower selling price? You look at the margin, 35 becomes 25. Ours is 25. Yes? Okay, so one of the reason our GP margin could be because we actually try to give a discount to our customer. Okay, this discount customer boost our sales because earlier in a question there they say our sales is dropping. Yeah, it's declining. That's why customer is not coming in. So we try to boost up our sales by giving discount to our customer. This could be the reason our margin has dropped from 35 average to ours now 25. Could it be because our cost? Yeah, our cost has increased. Okay, our cost increased and we are unable to pass on the cost to our customer. All right, that's why our profitability is dropped. Now, you compare this operating margin now. What do we look at when we look at operating margin? Yes, so our company as well as sector average, which company manage the expenses better than the other? Do we look at the proportion? Yes. So 25 GP become operating margin 7.5. So drop by how much? Means my expenses is about 17.5. Every $1, 25 minus 7.5 is 17.5. So my expenses is 17.5 proportion. What about this one? 23. So we manage our expenses better than industry average. So we try to elaborate what could be the reason. One of the reasons is because we have a safe cost cutting measure and we are quite successful in cutting our costs and controlling our costs. Do you agree? Yes, this could be the reason we try to have a cost cutting measure because our profit is dropping. Okay, we want to boost our profit with reduced selling price, and at the same time we try to cut our cost. We may be also cutting our advertisement cost, our commission cost. So if we cut advertisement cost, our sales may be lower. We cut commission, our staff also demoralized lower. So that could be the problem as well. Current ratio, do we have liquidity problem? Industry average is 1.25. Now we don't look at 2 to 1 because when the industry is 1.25, ours is better. So we do not have liquidity problems. So we are not facing any liquidity problems in this case here. Because you notice why? Income to jewelry selling in the shops, do we have a lot of receivables? No, normally we generate more cash. All our sales are in cash. Okay, average inventory we are taking now 3 times and 4.5 times. Who is taking longer to sell, or who has got more inventory? Us or sector average? Sector average 3 times. Sometimes you can't tell from here, we convert to days will be easier. How to convert to days? 365 divide. So it's about 2 days. This one? 365 divide. Yeah, it's about 81 days. So of course ours take shorter. So the turnover is faster compared to industry average. So we are actually able to control our inventory better than sector average. Hence, can you see there's an improvement, better cash management here? Liquidity. Can we also link to just now we give discount? Our sales also faster, even though margin is lower. Okay. Trade payable, yeah, because of our cash position, which is improved or much better than our sector average. Probably we pay earlier is because we want to enjoy the discount. Alright, that's why we pay earlier. We are able to enjoy the discount. And in terms of the gearing ratio, this ratio, what is our threshold? 50 or 100? So D divided by E is 100. Because it's 1 to 1 is 100%. So both the industry average is 38 and ours 30. So ours is below. It just shows that our financial risk is low and ability to borrow will be higher. Okay, not so in the event that we need more money, the company can actually go into the market, debt market, and actually borrow. Okay, not so that is how we interpret. Hopefully, I don't know, with that explanation, we should be able to get about half is 6, so hopefully we can get about 7 or 8 lah. Okay, not so when we have 9 or maybe when we stay here we got 8, we got 6 here, 14 already. Explain 4 possible limitations on the usefulness of the above comparison. Okay, not so 4 marks we try to aim to get 2. The limitation of ratio. So sometimes can come to here, is it stuck? What are the limitations? Don't know. So try to write whatever you can think of. The first point you can think of, just write. If you don't write, you cannot think on it. You see, you keep on thinking, well, you're stuck there. So the moment when you think of anything, please write. The second point will come in, hopefully. If you do not write, then the second point will come in. And you have to read a lot also lah, to have the point. So this one, it really depends on. Okay, so in higher level, ACCA high level, very important when you do not know to write. So how to write? Read. And how to write, you must practice to write also in your exam. I mean, for your preparation, you must read, practice to write. Don't just read and read and read. Clear? So, we look at the answer, model answer. And take note, it's only for reference. Your answer don't have to be necessarily exactly like this. Profitability, we're not going through everything. We just pick and choose and read through. The profitability primary, so we have the main one, which is what? ROCE. We got a net profit margin, which is a PBIT divided by the sales, and one more is your asset turnover, right? 3 ratio. These are the 3 primary ratios. So the main one, ROCE, 12% is considerably underperforming than the sector average. So when you take, and difference here is about 4 point something percent divided by 16, drop by 28%. This one, nothing. This one just comment from what we can see only. 16 drop to 12. Probably this one you get 0 marks or half a mark. Because they are just taking whatever that is obvious here only. Diploma level, If you write it like this, probably you get 1 mark, 1.5 mark because you're just commenting whatever you can see. But here at high level, we have to discuss what could be the reason. The main cause seems means we are using judgment. The main cause for this drop or underperformance here of lower GP margin. Can you see? When our return is lower, profitability is lower, one of the reasons is due to this margin. And margin is because of selling price and the cost. Let's go through here. A possible explanation, again assumption here, for this is Quartile deliberately charging lower markup, charging lower selling price. Okay, you hit jackpot here, probably 1 mark. In order to increase the sales by undercutting the market. So undercutting the market. And there's a supporting evidence for this average inventory is 4.5. Then we try to link the ratio. 4.5 times means 81 days compared to them 1 to 2. Yeah, our turnover is faster. Okay. 4.5 times. Forget about the 50% better or not. Or in this case here, how to get a 50? There. 4.5 minus 3 is 1.5. So it's 50% faster than industry average. An alternative explanation could be Quartile has to cut the margin due to poor sales. Yeah, business has been dropping, so we have to cut our selling price. And because of the lower selling price, this will not afford impact on the writing down the closing inventory. Okay, lower closing inventory, lower profit. Next, lower GP fed through lower operating, because when my GP margin is low, my net profit will of course will be low. Correct? So fed through lower operating margin, this is just what we can see from the obvious. Why? From the above figure, it can be deduced that operating costs appear to be better controlled. There we did explain 70.5 and 23 better controlled than the sector average. Done. Hit the point. Last paragraph, probably we didn't mention this. This may indicate that Quartile has different classification of costs between cost of sales as well as operating costs. Meaning, we have a sales cost of sales, GP margin, and expenses. If we had an expenses of 1,000, and these are net profit. So classification expenses, if we do not follow exactly the standard, okay, in terms of presentation classification, 1,000, maybe we incurred the wages. So do we put it under expenses or do we put it under cost of sales? Okay, if you put it under cost of sales, what happened to the GP margin? Our GP margin will be lower. Our expenses will be also lower. Percentage of expenses will be lower. But if we have put it under expenses, our GP margin will perform better. But in terms of expenses, here will be higher. Then the proportion expenses, it shows that our control expenses is not strong. So that's why classification may affect our interpretation on the performance here. We continue. Let's go back. Repeat. This may indicate that Quartile has different classification of costs and expenses, and they may be spending more on advertisement or commission in order to support their higher margin. Okay. So this one explain expenses, classification, explain expenses. Let's jump. Oh yeah, this one we have a property revaluation. Property revaluation, which is this one, which increases our equity. We got 3 formula that use capital employed. Correct? Capital employed. One of them is PBIT. If there's more revaluation during the year, means my capital employed will be higher. So overall, my ratio will drop. Agree? So when we come to all this ratio, we look at revaluation. Is there any revaluation made during the year? Okay. Liquidity, no issue. This one you can just go through. And gearing ratio, we have a lower gearing ratio of 30% compared to them 38%. We just mentioned the obvious. Although loan note interest, this one here, forgot to mention to you, we always compare gearing, return, and this one here. My ROCE is 12%. Means my capital employed, equity, and debt. Equity, my shareholder wants some return. Debt, they also bank wants some return. I use their money to generate 12%. You look at my loan note, 10%. I borrow 10%. I borrow at 10%. And with their money, which is this 8,000, I make how much? 12.1. I borrow 8,000, I pay 10. With the 8,000, I make 12.1. So I'm able to cover this loan interest. So this is a cheap financing because using their money, I make more money. I make extra 2.1, correct? So when it comes to gearing ratio, please don't forget to mention this thing. Our loan interest is 10%, but ROCE shows that we earn actually 12.5. We are actually benefiting from the borrowings. Okay, and our financial ratio, our financial risk is low, so we should actually, if we can continue to make 12.1%, do you think we should borrow more? Question, If you look at my gearing ratio is 30%, and just now we say it should be around 100% to be the threshold, means we can actually borrow more, right? If we are able to maintain 12.1% return, do you think we should borrow more? Yeah, borrow more. If with the new money that we can maintain 12.5, so our decision we should borrow more to make more money. Clear? So that is for gearing ratio. What is the formula for interest cover again? Just now remember 13.3 times, 16 times. PBIT divided by interest. If you look at the ratio here, do we have interest cover? Don't have. You may want to calculate one and explain on interest cover. It's over here. PBIT, because we have to add interest to get PBIT, and this is the interest. So it's about 5.25. Is it manageable? Yes, more than 4. You don't write there more than 4. You think we think that 5%, 5.5 times is acceptable. So the company should actually go on and continue more if they are able to make more profit. Alright. And lastly, you're going to conclude. Just now they say profit is declining, so we have to conclude that yeah, profit is declining because our GP margin dropped, net profit margin also dropped. But luckily with the cost control, we are able to control the drop, much more higher drop in profit. And information provided about its rival will appear that suggests current market appear to favor strategy of higher margin. Sell more, lesser customer, sell more, make more money. But this conclusion here, nobody probably have thought of this. You can think of one and just put it in. Is it okay? And part C, they ask for limitation. So limitation is number 1, there's a revaluation in property. And when you have revaluation, we're going to affect your CE, capital employed. Okay. Number 2. Where's my year end? Our year end is September. Where is it stated? Yeah, here. 30th September. However, the sector average is 30th June. You probably missed this one. Doesn't matter. Okay, in exam, If you fail to notice anything, you fail to answer, couldn't understand, I tell you, very normal. Credit period. What happened? Maybe indication supplier were being cautious to give us credit term. The low credit terms here, there, we have 45. Just now we mentioned probably we enjoy the discount. But the answer provided by the examiner is our supplier give us short credit term as compared to others. Because our supplier are very cautious, they get reluctant to give us longer term. Anything can lah, both also acceptable. Alright. Then you okay? How many marks you can get from here? 4. Maybe 1. Is okay, 1. Hopefully can get 1 lah. 4 get 1 lah. Never mind, conservative lah. So here get 8. Here we get half 6. And here we get 1.5. 1. So you got 14. Yes. 25 we got 450. How many percent is that? 15, 25. Yeah, 60%. Number. 25. Okay. So in any exam, any paper, high level, they definitely tend to have some area for you to grab marks. So this is the place where you're going to grab the marks. Normally part B, part C are getting harder and harder. Okay, and you notice or not, the marks here getting harder and harder, normally it will be lesser. Doesn't matter. If you don't understand, you write something, move on. Okay, many students, when they look at part C, they realize that, let's say this is so happens 6 marks lah, and they really do not know how to understand, how to write. Okay, there are 2 types. One will skip, one will just write. Please be the second one, just write. You may think it's wrong, but you don't decide yourself, you let the marker decide. Okay, let the marker decide, just write and write and write and write, let the marker decide. Okay. Now, theory is the one that will help you to pass, not calculation. Huh? Theory is the one that helps you to pass, not calculation. You see how we mark, not ACC lah, degree or what. So if this is calculation 4 times 4, 15. This is a working 4 unit times $4, you got 16. Okay, not? And then you have a theory here. And you do it in point form, okay. Point form or part A, number 1, number 2, number 3, advantages or whatever lah. Okay, so do you get marks for this? Wrong. 4 times 4, you should get 16. Okay, not? This one here, theory, I give you wrong. This one here is, let's say it's 2 marks, 2 marks, and 2 marks. I'll give you correct, but I give you 1 mark. And this one here, I give you correct, I give you 1 mark. And you add up this one 0, this one 0. So this is part A. Part B, part C, question 1, 2, all add up, you got 47. Pass is 50. How? What will the marker do? Your whole script will be reviewed again. And the purpose here is to make sure that we do not miss out any marks. Okay, if you're supposed to pass, we're going to let you pass. Okay, so you notice a lot of people, students, they get 47, 48, 49. Okay, and 50 to pass. How? Can I give you marks here to pass? 4 times 4 times equal to 15. Calculation confirm out already. Can I give you marks here? I'll read through one more time. Maybe this time I read slightly more lenient because I'm searching to see if I can give you that 3 marks. So yeah, I can give you half a mark here. here I go through, yeah, I can give you half a mark here, and here totally cannot, 1 is 1. So this particular area I give you 1 extra mark here. Now you jump to part B. Part B is calculation, okay. Part C again, part C is also this one. Example, I managed to give you another half a mark. Now question 2, question 3, question 4. 49.5, I'll round it to 50. That's how most of them got 50. Is it okay? But what happens if you do this? This one not sure, that's one totally blank. This one just wrote a few, probably just one sentence, which half mark is given. And part B also blank. That is when we want to give you that 47. But one particular question you did quite well. But question 2, question 3, all blank, 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 blank. So I try to give you marks here, half a mark. This one half mark given, this one nothing. I try very hard, but nothing for me to help you. Part B also a lot of blank, nothing. So end up, I'll give you like another 1.5. 40.5, I'll round it to 49. Then you say, well, how come I don't have? I try to help half a mark, cannot. Already maximum wrong. So please write. Okay. That's the first question. Just now I had lunch with this friend, and he's